Hello YouTube, this is Hunter Surge here with another day of Cardfight Vanguard reveals. Today's the Thursday stream, which brings us the Feltyrosa reveals, the Siana reveals, and a generic Blitz for Lyrical in the new set. So let's get into it. So starting with Feltyrosa, this is another case where I'm pretty familiar with like the baseline of what the deck originally did and what its original gimmick is, but I'm not super familiar with the support it's gotten between the first Lyrical set and today. But we'll try our best. So first we have a double rare for Feltyrosa, Gospel on a Freezing Night, Hated Mary. If you have a Feltyrosa Vanguard, it gets the following. When it's placed on rare during main phase, counterblast one, look top 5, and call up to one card with whose grade is equal or less than your Vanguard's grade to rear, and shuffle the deck. And then if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, during this turn, this unit gets auto rear when this attacks. It gets power plus 5k, and then it returns to the bottom of the deck at the end of the battle. And then from drop, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, your trigger units that you drive check get an additional effect of if you do not have a copy of this card on your rear guard circle, you can choose and call one from your drop zone to an empty rear guard circle. So this seems quite nice. Feltyrosa's whole gimmick is that she can call ghosts that she gets off of her drive checks onto the rear, and gets multi-attacks that way. However, that does have an issue of if you check all triggers, you don't get any multi-attacks, and that's kind of really awkward, because you probably like attacked with everything. So this is very nice because it means like if you check a trigger, and because it's additional trigger effect, the way trigger effects actually work is that this matters sometimes for over trigger, so it's good knowledge to have, is that you can resolve them in any order you want. So because this is an additional trigger effect, uh, you get to call this first and then apply your trigger bonuses. So you'll have it on the board always before you're applying your triggers, which is very, very nice. Definitely super good. Super nice. And like it's also just like a CB1 look top 5 call. That also like once you're at grade 3 or greater is able to mirage itself off the board to clear the way for Feltyrosa's drive check calls. Super nice. Super nice. Uh, then we have a gate. This is a grade 1. When it enters rear and you have a grade 3 or greater Feltyrosa Vanguard, during this turn, it gets power plus, this unit gets power plus 5k. Very basic. And then back row rear, once per turn, at the end of the battle that I boosted, and you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Feltyrosa in its name, you can return another rear in the same column, back to the bottom of your deck. Wait, is that right? Is that what I read before? Yeah, stand this. Okay, yeah. Stand this unit. And if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Feltyrosa in its name, Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. So this is a back row card, restander. Yeah, okay, yeah. This just lets you mirage the thing in front of it. Often it's going to be a situation like what Direful Dolls does with Bartolomea, where it's going to have an end of battle effect of its own to clear itself off the field, and you'll just get to go, okay, I'm going to do that anyways, and just get this restand for free. And at the same time, you get to go EV3 draw a card, which is pretty nice. That's pretty good. And it's 13k, so it's going to be, you're going to get to double dip on that 13k booster, which is pretty nice. Like these are pretty high quality cards. Yeah. And then the last Feltyrosa card is this rare grade 3 Doris. When it attacks, you can Soul Blast a card with Feltyrosa in its card name, look top 5, reveal and add up to one card with Feltyrosa in its name from your hand, shuffle your deck. If revealed, put one card from hand into Soul, and return this bomb to the bottom of the deck at the end of the battle. So I'm not super familiar with how Feltyrosa's dress up exactly works. Okay, yeah, I've read up on the dress up, unless like there's something else that wants you to find like Feltyrosa's to the hand. So the weird thing about this card is that it has the Soul Blast of Feltyrosa. And the dress up Feltyrosa needs a Feltyrosa in the soul to give it front row plus 10k buff. Which makes this card very awkward. Like looking top 5 and going, I'm gonna grab I'm gonna get a Persona to hand. That's like useful enough, but the fact that it has to Soul Blast a Feltyrosa from the soul is pretty. Actually, no, the Rhyline itself is Feltyrosas, right? So you can just Soul Blast those. Yes, you can just Soul Blast the Rhyline. So this pretty okay, but it's not like doing any power gain, so it's not super fantastic. But this is a way that you can like you can go like, okay, Soul Blast out of Rhyline, Feltyrosa, then you look top 5, um, add a grade 3 Feltyrosa, and you can chuck it immediately into Soul if you're missing the plus 10k front row buff. And get that online on turn 3 pretty easily. So I can maybe see this card. I can maybe see this card. Now that I've remembered that the Rhyline itself is also Feltyrosas. Um maybe. Not, this is so rare, so like it's definitely like a lower quality card, but this could be something. This could be a real card. Um, with that said, let's move on to Siana. So Siana deck is a deck that I'm fairly familiar with. It has a cool defensive gimmick, so I've looked at it quite a bit. And I've helped a friend of mine lab out the deck quite a number of times. So I'm pretty familiar with how Siana functions. And in my opinion, one of the things Siana needs the most is the capacity to use multiple Blitz Orders a turn, similar to Lascaria, so that I can enable its cool defensive thing more often. Because like it doesn't really have the capacity to be better on the offensive side, so like it's like, and like it's rather difficult for Siana to like trigger its defensive gimmick nowadays compared to when it came out, because the numbers just are typically a bit bigger. But let's see. So dress up Siana, Gorgon's gift Siana. So when it's rode upon on Gorgonized Siana, you look top 5 from the top of your deck, free up to 1 card, and if it's a non-sentinel normal unit, you get to call it to rear, and if it's a Blitz Order, you get to add to your hand. So it's like, that's a solid filter effect. Then if the total units on your opponent's front row and Guardian Circle are 2 or less, this gets critical +1 and drive +1. At the end of your turn, you choose and ride 1 card with Gorgon's Eyes Siana in its original name from Soul to Rest. So like it's similar to like the glitter upgrades, Vanguard upgrades, where like, okay, you're going to like ride down to the original, so like you're still getting original Siana's a defensive gimmick. And then this thing is giving you just like some free like card advantage off the top 5 effect, which is pretty neat. Which is pretty all right. But like doesn't really do anything for those issues I was talking about. This is like a solid card, but like I don't feel like it does anything to like either bring Siana's numbers up to a point where like its offensive stuff can be good enough, nor does it make its defensive stuff more usable. So it's weird. Definitely like a good card like in a vacuum, but like probably it's not like super moving the needle on the archetype. And where's the second Siana Rare? There's another Siana Rare. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So it's a grade 1. And when it's placed on rear, you choose a rear in your opponent's front row and bounce it to hand. And if no card was chosen, you can soul charge 1 if you want. So like this kind of effect you'll see on Siana cards all over because you want to enable the like empty front row stuff. And then when your Vanguard with Siana's card name attacks and your opponent has no rears in the front row, you can shove it into soul, draw a card, and if you've Persona Road that turn and your units have not stood during this battle phase, you choose to stand one of your rears. This is pretty alright. These types of grid ones are always pretty good. Siana did have a method of multi-attack released in the last Lyrical set, if I recall correctly. It was just a grade 2 restander. But having more methods of doing that is hardly something to shake a stick at. It's pretty nice to have. Yeah. But I don't think that the numbers are there for Siana is the weird bit. And then the double rare Siana support is Philo, Build a Snowman's Philo. So in the drop, if you do not have a rare with the same card name as this card, and your opponent has no rares in front row, Energy Blast 3, call this to rear, and it gets Power Plus 2k. Act rear, if you have a Vanguard with Gorgon's Eyes Siana, and its original name, you can shove it into Soul, and you search your deck and ride a Gorgon's Gift Siana from your deck and stand. You shuffle your deck, and then if you rode by this effect and you have no more road or Persona Road this turn, you activate Persona Ride. So this is Immergar. Immergar's a pretty good card, but I don't think like the quality of what you're getting out of an Immergar is like the quality that like Ava's getting. It's definitely not that quality of deck, but like getting an Immergar is still really appreciated. Like this first effect works completely in the early game, which is super nice because like it's a 10k, so it can be used as an attacker, or you can use it as a booster and always be certain that you'll be getting over damage triggers. Very nice card, very good. Like all three of these cards have been super good. I don't think they're like this sort of support that like really puts like it's like high enough quality support that really puts Siana into a super playable spot. Because the offensive numbers still aren't super great. And the defensive gimmick hasn't really gotten any easier to use, but they are definitely like good cards. And then where's the last card? And then this is a rare for Siana. Are You Shy? Air Heal. When it's placed on rare or guardian from your deck or hand, you can choose a card with Siana from your drop and return it to the bottom of your deck, or shove it into Soul. So like obviously the intent of this card is, hey, it's a way that you can put your dress up Sianas back into your deck so that you can continue to Persona ride into them with the Immergar. But the version of this that Ava got was way better than this, and I think this card needed to do more for this to be really like usable. Yeah, I don't think this card is super good. And now we have one last card to talk about, which is the generic Blitz. So the generic Blitz is, here we go, Stillnacht, Silent Night. It's a grade 2 Blitz, and you activate one of the following. You either choose one of your units being attacked, and it gets power plus 10k, and if the attacking unit is a rear guard, it gets plus 20k instead. And if your Vanguard was hit this turn, you choose one of your units being attacked, and it gets power plus 30k. So I'm pretty sure both of these effects are like Blitz Orders that previously existed. I know the second one is. And like that's what I really want to focus on, because that second effect is a really good Blitz Order that just becomes completely useless when your opponent hits when you hit 5 damage. So like having a different mode on a Blitz Order with that exact effect that is going to be like, hey, this is going to be like something you can use it for when you can't take a hit anymore, or you really don't want to take a hit this turn. And like most of the time you're going to be able to get maneuvers such that you're able to get the 20k mode, which is really good. Like this is a super good Blitz Order. This feels very much like Lyrical's version of those combined two generics cards that every nation except Lyrical got in DZ9, except it's combining Blitz Orders instead, which is overall much stronger, way 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 stronger, um, like than most of those, I would say. Like definitely not stronger. Like not the Section Angels strong. Like that card's crazy. Um, but like this reads like stronger than most of those because this is a really good card. Like having that 30k shield mode on a card that doesn't become useless if you haven't taken a hit and it's still able to be like a 20k shield is super good. Super, super strong. Um, Fantastic Blitz Order. Like definitely like the go-to Blitz Order if you ever want one in a Lyrical deck. And like Siana does want Blitz Orders for sure. Yeah, really, really good card. And then lastly we have some cards of the day to go over. Nothing really of note. So first batch of cards today, we have a common, grade 2. If you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, um, this card cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. Not any good at all. Even if this didn't have a condition at all for the can't be targeted, this is still just like a DBTO1 card that Dark State's got. Not anywhere near good enough, especially in Lyrical, a deck, a nation where like a ton of decks are just able to bounce their entire board. Where it's just like a fact like this is so much less useful. Now we have a grade 1. When it's placed on rear from hand, you can Soul Blast 1, choose one of your other grade 1 rears. During that turn, both this card and that card get plus 2k, which only amounts to plus 4k total. I guess it can be used early, but like it's still like super, super bad. And then we have our second match of cards of the day. Common, grade 1. Auto once per turn with this boost, and you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. You can Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your rears that shares the same grade as the Soul Blasted card. And it gets power plus 5k. Super convoluted way to be a plus 5k. Can't see this being any good at all. And then grade 1, common again. During your turn, and with this discard from your hand, you get to choose a non-sentinel normal unit from your drop, put it back on the bottom of the deck. This is the type of effect that can be useful in certain scenarios, but if it's all the card is doing, it's not going to be any good. So this card is no good. Yeah, that's going to be it. Feltyrosa support seems pretty good, but I'm not. I am super unfamiliar with where the deck is at current, so I have no clue if it's enough to bring it to anything like approaching viability. But the front row buff seems pretty good, and those are like pretty good cards for like ensuring that you actually get your multi attacks in Feltyrosa. Um and the Siana cards are all good, but like really don't feel like they like really address the sort of things that the deck really needed help with, and don't like put like in like improve its offenses enough that it's going to be fine um regardless. Like I just don't like the card advantage that it can generate now is pretty good because Emmergar into like the Gorgon's Gift looking top 5 to grab anything is like pretty solid stuff. That's good, definitely 100% fantastic card advantage. Um, and like the additional Resander is also super nice, especially since that like draws a card. Super nice stuff. But like I really don't think it like helps Siona anywhere near as much as she needed to help. Like Siona needed a lot of help. Siona needed like cracked cards. And like Embergar plus like a glimmer type upgrade is like pretty good, but like probably not good enough, unfortunately. But it is what it is. With that said, this is Hunter Surge signing off.